It's December, and that means winter holidays, end of year celebrations, and reaffirming our commitment to treating homeless people like crap. Hi, I'm Liliana Young, and I'm running for Indiana House of Representatives in District 61. And as I record this video, authorities here in Bloomington and Monroe County are moving to once again disband homeless encampments in the city and county. And on a typical decent day, I would still consider this to be a bad thing. But it's especially egregious right now because it's the onset of winter and these people have nowhere to go, nowhere to live, and no amount of safety or stability. So we're taking what little they already have and throwing that away by refusing them to have a few tents put up, which might just be the only thing that stands between them and a freezing death in below freezing temperatures that we have every night right now. Look, in a general sense, I don't really believe in disbanding homeless encampments. I think that we as a society have collectively failed to put up the programs that will keep people housed even when they lose their jobs. And if we're not even going to allow people that basic fundamental dignity and stability, then the least we can do is let people throw up a handful of tents in a park that most of us probably don't go to in our day-to-day lives anyway. But it's especially bad right now when we're dealing with this kind of snow and ice and freezing cold. Look, we've got to start addressing the real problem here, and the problem is we have to work to decommodify housing, period. Things like efficiency apartments and one-bedroom apartments, honestly, I don't even believe we should be paying for those to begin with. And we should be implementing other kinds of programs to keep people housed and fed when they lose their jobs. Because in a state like Indiana, where you are perfectly within your legal rights as a business to terminate employment for no reason at any time, really nobody in this state is actually ever secure in their financial position. So we should have a backup plan in case people lose their jobs. This is where I reaffirm my commitment to doing whatever I possibly can in the state legislature to push for housing first solutions, working to decommodify housing as much as I possibly can, and doing whatever I can to make state law less hostile towards our homeless residents. Because look, people, we gotta acknowledge something. Homeless people aren't failures and they're not monsters, and we need to start treating them like humans. Because honestly, the line of separation between us and them is extremely thin, and in most cases, it's quite literally one bad day away, one missed paycheck, and your entire life can crumble before you know it. And we need to keep that in mind. So, when I am elected, this is one of many things that I intend to work on as hard as I possibly can to keep people housed, to keep people from losing their entire life and livelihood just because of systems that don't work to their favor or the possibility of one minor mistake having the power to completely destroy your life, and ultimately working towards the goal of completely decommodifying housing to begin with, because I am a socialist and that is something I believe in. I hope you all stay as warm as you possibly can, and if you are fortunate enough to have housing through this winter here in Indiana, relish it, be grateful for it, and remember, you're not very far off from the homeless population that most of us tend to look down on. So when you see them as you're walking through downtown Bloomington or Indianapolis or wherever you might be, maybe pause and consider just for a moment that we as a society need to do a lot better at keeping people where they should be, indoors, in homes, not on the street.